Okay, so in this video let us know the Chinese Remainder Theorem. Okay, so here initially we have to solve the simultaneous congruence equations, so linear congruences. So x congruence to a1 mod m1, x congruence to a2 mod m2, and x congruence to a3 mod m3. Here m1, m2, m3 are pairwise incongruent, pairwise relatively prime. Okay, so here m will be what? So it is m1 into m2 into m3. First we have to calculate the product of m1, m2, m3, and we have to call it as capital M. So later we have to calculate, so capital M1, capital M2, capital M3. So what is capital M1? It is capital M by small m1. But what is capital M? It is m1 into m2 into m3. So we can cancel this m1, so that the remaining is m2 into m3. Okay, so capital M2 is capital M by m2, which is m1 into m3, and capital M3, which is capital M by m3, which is m1 into m2. Okay, so later after finding this capital m1, m2, m3, we have to calculate m1 inverse, m2 inverse, and m3 inverse using this equation. What is that? So capital m1 inverse congruence to 1 mod small m1, capital M2 inverse congruence to 1 modulo M2, capital M3 inverse congruence to 1 modulo M3, small m3. Okay, so after finding this by Chinese remainder theorem, we can say that the given system of linear congruences has the unique solution under the modulo m1 into m2 into m3, which is capital M. So what is that solution? So x congruence to a1 into m1 into m1 inverse plus a2 into m2 into m2 inverse plus a3 into m3 into m3 inverse under the modulo m1 into m2 into m3.